Mr. Hansen looking at what to do with remainders again. This is our third video. Once again, I'm using the Math Learning Center's website and their Number Frames app. This is a free resource. So you can see that I've got 42 divided by 4 here. I'd like you to pause the video in just a second and answer the following question. Where in this model that I drew can you see the 4? So pause the video and make sure you understand it. I'm going to ask you a second question now that you've unpaused the video. It's very similar to the first. Where in this model do you see the 42? Go ahead and pause while you think about that. All right. Hopefully you've seen that the 4 is represented by 1, 2, 3, 4. The 42 are the dots inside the grid. And you might notice that I used 2 different colors. Why did I use 2 different colors? Can you pause the video and talk about that? So in looking at it, can you tell that person number 1, 2, 3, and 4, if they all get the same amount, they're going to get this many, each one of them. That happens to be 10 when you count. So person number 1 would get 10, number 2 would get 10, and so on. There are 40 blues. I used up out of the 42 that I started with. I used up 40 between the people. The 40, one more time, is 10 times the 4 people. So how many do I still have left to deal with? Well, I have 2, and those 2 are the red ones, and I should have written that in red. Those 2 left over is that one there and that one there. 42 divided by 4 means that each group gets 10 with a remainder of 2. That would be your answer. All right, what do you do with the remainders then? Well, it could just simply be that you're just trying to find out 10 remainder 2, because there's no story problem attached to this. But I'm going to ask you a question here, and I'm going to have you pause the video again. What if I gave you this as a story problem? We've got 42 slices of pizza. There's 4 people. Everybody's going to eat the same amount. All the pizza's going to be gone at the end. So how many pieces does each person eat? Go ahead and pause the video and figure out how much pizza each person eats. All right, we're back. We know that each person is going to get 10 slices. Those are the total complete slices. But then we've got these guys left over here. And I'm going to draw them nice and big so you can see them. Those are the leftover pieces. We want to share those leftovers equally with each of the 4 people. So I'm going to take this leftover piece and say each person gets 1/4 of it. So this person's going to get 1/4, and each person is going to get 1/4. And it's a little hard to write with a touch screen, sorry about that. But each person is going to get 1/4 of this piece right here. Well, then I'm going to do the same thing over here and say that each person gets 1/4 of that piece. So each person gets 10 whole pieces plus 1/4 of a piece plus 1/4 of a piece. And 10 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 is 10 2/4. Or 10½ if you'd rather, because 2/4 is the same as 1/2. So that's how you can do that with a sharing problem. I'm going to go ahead and clear my drawings again. And what if I said to you that we have a classroom, I've got 42 students in the classroom, and I want to put students into groups of 4. How many groups of 4 am I going to have? Go ahead and pause the video while you think about that. And I assume you're back with me now. So I want groups of 4. So I'm going to be looking for how many groups of 4 can I make? And you can see how I'm just kind of circling my groups of 4. And it turns out that I'm going to end up with 10 student groups. Yes, I'm going to have 2 extra students, but that was not my question. My question was, how many student groups will I have? I will have 10 groups. I'll have to deal with the leftover students at another time, because that's not the question that I was being asked. So finally, one more type of question. We've got 42 frogs. Now, we're going to build an aquarium out of this, and we're going to have the frogs sitting on lily pads. So, each lily pad can hold 4 frogs. How many lily pads do I need so that every frog can be on a lily pad? I'll let you pause the video while you think about that. So I'm going to have a lily pad, some kind of lily pad, and there's going to be 4 frogs on each one. How many of these lily pads do I need to purchase so that I can get all my frogs a home on a lily pad? Well, as you can see, I'm going to buy 10 and put 4 on, but that will leave 2 frogs left out in the cold if I only buy 10. I need to buy 1 more lily pad, and that lily pad is only going to have 2 frogs on it. But at least those 2 frogs will have a home. So I'm going to actually need to buy 1 more to get those extra 2 frogs to fit onto the lily pads for a total of 11. So in this case, 42 divided by 4 is still 10 remainder 2. What do I do with that remainder? I need to buy the extra lily pad so that my frogs have a home. That's 3 different ways to deal with remainders, and I hope that helps.